Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Kale Casey. We're live right here at the fire camp. We just had our operational briefing. It's Friday, August 30th. Containment at 78%. We're hoping the weather comes in tonight. I've got Michelle coming in. She's just going to do a quick report on the postcard front, right?
Yes, thank you guys for making it possible for us to be able to contact our families. We wouldn't be able to do that without you. It's been amazing. My mother completely enjoyed it, so thanks for that.
So here's the break it down context. Yesterday morning at our briefing, Michelle came over and said, I heard there's postcards.
Yes.
And so we ran and found in fact, Stephanie was walking all through camp, handing them out to people who are, not everybody goes to briefing, right?
No.
But you had to be there.
Yes.
And so we delivered the postcards.
It's great getting postcards with stamps on them. It just makes it so easy.
I'm just wondering, where did these postcards come from?
Okay, right. So we asked folks to not bring us donations that we're not able to use, like socks and bandanas and things like that. And we asked them to bring us donations that we can use, like thank you banners, postcards with stamps, and a defensible space.
Yes.
So these came from our members of the public who have been going to the post office, breaking their piggy banks, spending money on stamps, putting them on there and dropping them off. And we want to say thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Cool. Get out there. Which division?
Structure.
Okay, structure group. Cool.
Yeah.
Now I got Tom Smith coming in. We met years ago on the Moon Lake Fire.
Yep.
We probably spent a month camping out on the Tanana River and up in the Spike Camp, and you stay lifelong friends in fire, right?
Yep, I was the guy who kept dropping my food in the fire because the stupid frying pan, it had the handle, when you squeezed it too much, it would dump everything in the fire.
So
you enjoyed that.
That's right. And
immensely.
to bring people in, up in Alaska, we don't just have caterers dropping off food buckets like you do in the 48 at fire camp. For those of you joining us who are part of the fire family, this is all something you've already known, but if you are watching at home and wondering, what are they talking about? So out at the fire line, on this fire, we have a caterer here, and we're at this unbelievable facility, but a lot of times in Alaska, you're just out making your own food, fending for yourself. We have guns to fend off the bears, no joke, right?
Absolutely.
And we're just dealing with the hazards. So you came up with a crew from Western Washington.
Today, this time, yep.
Yeah, and tell us all about where you're working.
We're working up near the head of the fire, actually, where it all started up there, Division Delta. And we're just cleaning back, getting a good clean 50 feet in, following the trees, working around the ash pits, pulling all the material back far enough there that we can grid through it easily without stumbling around and fighting a bunch of brush.
So when people talk about what does containment look like or what are the crews looking like, we've had black line on that north side for a while,
right.
But that just meant that we felt it wouldn't go out of the perimeter. And then there's all the rest of the work, right?
Yep, yeah. Basically, the upper end of it, there was a 2-track along the power line corridor. That was the black line they put in there, but you step in just a little ways there, and it's burning deep. A lot of heat in there, and we've just been having to work around it, we're literally working in a few feet at a time, cleaning it out, and we've got major moving operation, getting all the junk out of the way, pulled back. We're kind of jealous because along the highway, they're using feller buncher to do that stuff, and we're all doing it by hand.
So you're actually cutting the logs, carrying the logs.
Cutting them, rolling them up. If they're too heavy to carry, we're rolling them out of the way. We're packing a lot of stuff back, 50 feet in, and depositing in places where it's not going to start burning again, so we can just move through there.
And the homeowners, we've been talking about these ash pits. You're seeing the ash pits. Have folks been able to avoid them, or what's happening out in your division?
We got real good at probing because you really can't see them. It just looks like a lot of it's burning down and it's burning underneath the surface laterally. So it looks like regular ground duff with leaves on it. You stick a tool handle in there and it'll go in this deep, and it's hot in there. And if you're not watching where you're stepping, it looks like solid ground and you go in. And I know there's been a lot of people burned that way. We're all good. We got our guys that are out there walking around like Yoda, probing, with our hand tools.
So for homeowners back home, the Red Cross is giving out the cleanup kits. That comes with some tools. That's your probe right there. Or if you have a shovel handle.
Yep, anything, stick, whatever.
Okay, so this reminds me of when we're on the Denali glaciers, we're probing before we camp.
Absolutely.
Because you have crevasses. Now here in the summer, because we're so dry, record drought, the indices today is the driest it's ever been in this area, the highest buildup index.
Yep.
And so for folks at home, we get these questions like when we say lateral burning, people think that might mean that it can become its own mine shaft and burn 100 yards or 200 yards or pop up somewhere else. That's not really what's going on here, right?
Not that much. It's just slowly spreading out. It's like you got some spot where it's getting down on the ground and it is slowly moving out. It's not ripping fast underneath there.
Right. So for those who are asking questions, I wonder if this is going to pop up in some other yard. That's not how fire works. But what it does do is trick you.
Right.
So you think that the ash pit is something you can see visibly, but actually out on the edges, and that's why we keep saying the hazards are there. We're not saying it's safe to be at your home. We're saying that we've been talking about these hazards even before the level 3s dropped, because we knew folks had self-re-entered or didn't leave, and we knew these hazards were something that we're gonna continue because it's just so dry. I mean, you've been up here before. When we worked up at the Moon Lake Fire near Toke, it rained every 3 weeks.
Right.
And we got 2 or 3 days of rain, and we'd have to stay warm, and then the fire would build back up 10 days later.
Yep. A month or so ago up at the Montana Creek and Malspina Fire, same sort of deal, but the stuff wasn't nearly as deep. So it was a surprise coming back to this one to just see in a month's time just how much deeper it's going and how more subtle it is that we got to deal with.
So everybody be careful out there. We're thankful for Tom. Thank you. It's always good to see you.
All right.
Appreciate you serving this community twice now this summer.
You bet.
And for bringing the crew up from Western Washington, and we'll try to get some footage of them on YouTube for you.
All right, cool.
Okay, get out there and be safe.
Right.
Any questions from the home audience?
Just a lot of thanks and appreciation.
Okay, great. Well, we're grateful for the support from the community. The incoming team, we've been able to talk with Sarah and Mariah, who are coming in tomorrow afternoon. We're going to build them a really good plan, and I'm going to take a couple days off and actually stay to help them learn the community here, and that's what we like to do with the Alaska Guarantee. So for those of you who are wondering how this next week is going to go, we're going to have a really strong group of PIOs. Gina from Anchorage is hopefully going to stay on longer. She's been at Sheep Creek Lodge, and we're working with her supervisor now, and Jake, who's been out in the field, we're going to keep him another week. Renette, who's been doing video work and putting up those great clips of the Red Cross and the different safety issues and how we're doing the Feller Buncher. All those little short movies are made by Renette. We're hoping to keep her another week. So we're really going to be here for you all the way through this, and we appreciate you being here today. We'll come back later tonight. Thank you.